The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD is an undeniably beautiful Wii U adaptation of the classic 2003 adventure. Nintendo has updated the game to run in 1080p widescreen at 60 frames per second, but this is more of a restoration than a HD re-release. The game's lighting and shadows have also been reworked alongside small tweaks to the game itself. At first glance, fans of the GameCube original will find themselves reaching for their TV's contrast setting, as the Wind Waker HD sports a more muted palette than it did in 2003. And then Nintendo further alters the look of the game by adding thick, foggy layers of bloom. While the choppy expanses of ocean across the game's Great Sea look untouched, the sky loses some of its shine and blurs its clouds to create a more realistic look. The Wind Waker's sense of adventure and exploration is propelled by intertwining this vibrant art with its characters, notably the boyish young Link with his humongous, expressive eyes, alongside the stern weariness of the King of Red Lions, his talking boat companion. Don't worry though, the Wind Waker HD's occasionally muted palette does little to diminish the powerful effect of revisiting the game's fresh take on the Legend of Zelda's ubiquitous mountains, temples, and villages. Players slowly and satisfyingly chip away and discover the secrets of 7 main dungeons, unlocking a familiar arsenal such as the boomerang, the grappling hook, loads of bombs, and of course, the classic hookshot. And that sense of exploration is only enhanced by the Great Sea, a 7x7 grid of open ocean with a point of interest dotted in each square. Off the beaten path lies valuable secret items, lucrative galleys to plunder, and powerful, ancient forces to win over to your quest. Like all Zelda games, The Wind Waker is a weave of puzzle-solving, combat, and discovery, with each main dungeon involving a puzzle-laden search for a key that allows you to square off against the game's imposing boss monsters. There's no new content in the HD update, so Wind Waker still plays to the same rhythm as before. It's an adventure of thundering and thrilling pace in its first half. But its underweight second half stretches itself thin with an exasperating fetch quest that requires deep pockets and a cast iron level of perseverance. Tingle's infamously pricey and tedious fetch quest has been, thankfully, made easier, with a larger starting wallet and only 3 of the original 8 Triforce maps now requiring deciphering, but it is still an unwelcome quest. Then there's the new Swift Sail, which boosts your speed on the open seas by 50% and also automatically repositions the wind to always be behind the player. This helps alleviate the problem of constantly having to conduct using the Wind Waker, the game's magical baton, which never manages to conjure up the same sense of wonder as Link's time-shifting ocarina. Other new features in the Wind Waker HD include the challenging hero mode, a feature first seen in Skyward Sword, which makes enemies do double damage and removes health recovery outside of potions and fairies. Then there's the Tingle Bottle, replacing the original's Tingle Tuner, which taps into the Miiverse to allow players to leave messages in bottles for strangers. And last but not least, an upgraded Picto Box allows Link to act like it's 2013 and take his own selfies. The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD is a loving restoration of a bold and beautiful adventure, with Nintendo shifting some elements of its aesthetic and adding touches of brevity to a game that occasionally drags. This HD update reaffirms that Nintendo's most colourful Zelda remains timeless. Yeah!